this afternoon. We are CSI5 start 45 yard. A good round competition approaching around the close to the time allowed and that is from by Mary Jim. Now he's been with us. What's that, Mary Jim? Apart from other brands, they're usually combined history, technology, culture, spirit of life, and all the benefits of business. And we thank them for those things. Thank you for coming to the show, Mark. CSI5 stars.
Well, a very good morning and welcome to Thunderbird as we get set to go into our first of 5-star classes of the day. It has been a wet morning and we'll see 20 go in the speed class here. 5-star speed with Kent Farrington starting us off with Orafina, the lovely ride for him that's also been a recent winner for him down in Florida before heading up here to Canada for the upcoming shows. Of course, 2 weeks of competition here at Thunderbird. Thankfully now it's drying up, and we are looking forward to a good day ahead. So you can see 20 in this one-round class. Fulton time is the format here. And 11 fences on the course, designed by Peter Grant of Canada. And Kent going to get into a rolling start for our first up. This kindly sponsored by Maui Gym, and a huge thanks to them as well. And our top 6 riders each getting a new pair of sunnies for that as well. So lucky ones there for them too. Not quite required today, but I'm sure they will be throughout the coming days here at the Thunderbird Show Park as well. Presented beautifully as ever, this venue. First couple of fences for Kent, and here plenty of room for them to be getting into this class, depending whether they're going to go chasing the time or not. They have a big week ahead. Grand Prix, of course, on Sunday. Team competition tomorrow afternoon, late afternoon. That will be 5 o'clock tomorrow. We've got another jump-off class to come a little later on today. Roll back here from 4 to 5. Again, so no related run to the fences here. And time allowed of 86 seconds on the track for this class. Cabana Coast fence. Should be probably on the 6 drives. They may hold for the 7 down to the Show Plus vertical. So Kent electing to go first, not necessarily at the races with this opening ride. Got big things in view for this horse throughout the week. To keep an eye on for, say, that Grand Prix here on Sunday as well. Good to have him as part of Major League Jumping this year. Of course, a man who's consistently been up there in the world's top 10. Final 2 fences, of course, will take you to the Major League vertical. And there at the last. So there's going to be time to add there. 105.23, going to be a score of 20 for those that clock. Remember, new rules this year. It is 1 fault for every second commence, so 1 for 1 if you like. And 105.23, time allowed of 86 seconds. So that takes them 20 seconds over the time allowed. So 20 is the score, but 0 for any fences displaced. Moving us on to Vanessa Hood and Lulu VLS for the Take 2 LLC of Wellington, Florida. This 11-year-old by Elvis Teput for the rider. Now based in Florida, originally over on the West Coast for part of her career. Previously competing in the World Cup finals. Really building up a nice string of horses again now. She's returned to the sport. The World Cup finals just around her late teenage years. And training with Kent Farrington, who's keeping a close eye on her. This is a horse that she's rode very successfully through the high amateurs in Wellington before now. I think they finished circuit champions there as well. And with some New horses in the stringers too, including Easy Girl that Kent was riding for a little while. And remember, that was the horse that won in Caledon last season for the Grand Prix there. Different rider in the saddle on that occasion. Still clear for Vanessa. Comes in on the inside line here, back to the Major League Oxer. Just brushes off the front bar there. And a slightly tighter line into this final line of fences. So coming down on the 5 strides down to the last. Leaves them on the 4. Different time at 74.93, so somewhat quicker, but as I say, everyone with their own agenda here of what to think for the week. And they're just finishing on the 4 faults for Vanessa Hood. 74.93 gives us a good indicator with Lulu VLS. Patrizio Pascal and Dublin, the 12-year-old Hanoverian by Chaco Blue. Back to the Sandro Boy breeding as well for this German-bred horse for the Mexican rider. Down in Mexico City, went very successfully to in a whole string of the Mexican tour shows. They now head up to Canada for the 2 weeks here, then they'll be off to Spruce Meadows. Patrizio also jumping at some of the venues that we will see later on in the season for the Major League Jumping in Mexico, of course. San Miguel de Allende, and then on to Monterrey, La Silla. That's not till late October, November though. Stride distance, just getting the inside turn inside the course designer's hut in the middle. Morning Star horses fence down there. Carrie Reefer and team kindly supporting the shows here too. Californian rider. Just looks as though they clip that one behind. Again, gets the inside line back to this Major League Oxer. Just looking to keep the control as they go into the double. That first part, very easy to just run into that first vertical. And they'll also finish on the 4. So 4 in 73.67. Patrizio Pascal and Dublin will take the early lead at the moment. Vanessa Hood 74.93 from her, so just over a second quicker for Patrizio to lead the way so far. Now Nasa of Egypt, Igor van der Wittemore. Warble of gelding by Cooper van der Heffink. For Niall. Niall, another regular here at the Thunderbird Show Park throughout his career. Of course, spent a large part of his life based on the west coast of the US. He's also been jumping in Europe recently too, and for him it was a good run in Wellington, Florida this year. To put some nice wins together there, and also Grand Prix wins back at the tail end of 2021 with this horse too. Multiple winner of $1 million Grand Prix in the US. Still on the clear at the moment, coming at a good pace. It's been his ride in a number of big Grand Prix classes right through to 5-star. Niall heading for home. This could drop them into the lead if they leave the last up. There we go. And we'll put them in front at the moment. 77.53, 0 score for Niall. pair that should handle this course without too much trouble. And jumping through the double. They're both on one stride distances. 77.53 then leading time, Niall and Igor. Ashley Bond now, Contafina LVF, Little Valley Farms. Ashley with a super end to her Florida season with the win in the Rolex Grand Prix a few weeks ago, back in early April. Ashley also winner down in Mexico last season too on the Major League Jumping. You can also take a look at social media as well for Major League, and you'll see how the draw went yesterday. For those not familiar with Major League Jumping, the draws are usually some sort of task, and yesterday it was canoeing. And you can watch the likes of Ashley Bond and many others, I'm sure, making an appearance in there as well, as they were vying for the top spot for tomorrow's team class. I will keep that under wraps of who the winner was, but you can see some of the little measures of that, and also onto Horse Network as well, I'm sure. This horse having a nice win in the 3 stars in Wellington, Florida, too, in April, through the spring series there, before heading up to this part of the world. Of course, she was also based in California, now with bases 2 in Florida. Looking good for time, but just going to be that one fence stand for them. Just finishing on the 4, 70.61. Taking that one to just over 9 seconds faster than Niall's ride, but with a fence stand will drop them into second place for Ashley Bond, Contafina LVF. Just the first part of the double. Connor Swale, good finish for him in the opening class yesterday, but this is where it all starts to get a little more serious as we get into the ranking classes for the week. Winner here on multiple occasions, including in the World Cups here, and that was one of those last year. He won here back in September here at Thunderbird. Swale, who's been on that terrific rise up the world rankings over the last 12 months with win after win. Currently sitting 5th on the world rankings. He also goes to make that turn. Little sit back there. Still keeping up a good pace at the moment. Had a super run down in Lexington a few weeks ago. And their set of spring shows through the middle of May. Kept knocking up those wins too. Drifts out a little there, bends the line to the last, gets straight. And there we go, very different time again, 65.58 here. Interesting one, sits back, just going to try and make the turn, and as he does, has a little look back to see if it's still there, and the poles are still in position, so have a crack, and he does. New leader, then Connor Swale, and Nadal Hero D and B. Lisa Carlson and Livestream 2, well-established rider, World Cup rider, Nations Cup rider for Canada previously. Livestream 2 owned by Amy Hewitt in the Attaché Stables. It's a 12-year-old by Laudanis. Top 3 in the Grand Prix in Thermal earlier on this year. Of course, that one of the venues for the Major League Jumping, well, the final venue for Major League Jumping. 2 weeks of competition there in December of this year. So we have this first stage of the Major League Series, and then a break until August, when we head to Traverse City for the first 2 visits to that venue. Step over the show plus fence, and still it's a little bit wider there, but it's keeping up the pace. But unfortunately, that will put Pay to a number 1 spot. Can go for third. Ashley Bond on the 4 at the moment. 170.61. Might just be a little behind that. And we'll just finish on the 4 faults there for Elise Carlson and live stream 2. 74.17. We'll take a. We're thinking to about 4th place. Yes, 5th place, in fact, to be exact. Into 5th at the moment. Connor Swell leads. Nadal Hero and DB. Niall Nasser in 2nd on the clear as well. 2 of those on clear, rest of them on the 4. Kent Farrington on a bigger score, but that was all time, so I'm going to put that one to one side. Sam Walker now, and Dreaming Blue for Alice Bernard, the 9-year-old by Oupso, back to the breeding of the French-bred Bakir de Kriske. Sam with some new rides around, which is good to see, to back up the established string from Vita to Hermelian. Of course, Coralisa. Young Canadian now, 20 years of age. Just gets a move on around that corner.
Missing 4 orange juice.
Nice cut inside, just weaving to get themselves this Morning Star Oxer. Keep some good pace down to this Cabana Coast fence. You should be right up there if they can leave the fences up. So I'm just steadying, taking a pull there just so they don't get flat to this show plus water tray. Good thing is now the rain has stopped. Sun is even trying to just poke its nose out now. Just unfortunately dropped short coming out of the Oxer. And there, we'll leave them with a good time at 76.24, not far off with that. That would have gone second, but Connor Swale playing a different game to everyone else at the moment with his time, but with the 4 faults too for the young Canadian, takes him a little bit further down the order on the 4 there for Sam Walker and Dreamin' Blue. So Connor Swale leads 65.58, leaving the rest in his wake at the moment. Second place to Niall Nassar at this stage. Just getting ready to start. We'll pick that up on the camera in a second. As you can see, it is 1 Ortiz, Toulouse Z for the Blue Trim LLC, the 11-year-old by Toulon. Just coming to our opening fence. The team of the Show Plus Northern Lights. Of course, the first team stage to come tomorrow for Major League Jumping. Planned time for that is 5 o'clock local time here in British Columbia. Decent pace so far, just leaves the toe on the front bar of that Oxer, but it's going to stay. Just trying to steady themselves and just struggling with the communication coming into that double there. Sensibly taking a turn. Gonna come back to it. Powers in, clear out of there this time. Take them rolling up some time faults as well. There we go, just edging towards that left side, right side rather. 89.56. Going to add some time there as well. Ortiz then completing his round, but still leaving Connor Swale in the lead at the moment. Niall Nasser in second. And it will move us on now to Alexis Sokolov, the Hot Horses LLC's for Saut de Seigneur. Trains with Connor Swale. See what our current leader has passed on to our next rider on the mare by Duremi. Just taking a look at that fourth fence on course. Part of the Roadrunners team this year. New face on to the Major League Jumping 2 with the teams. Again, just as they try and make that turn, just pushes them back as they're trying to duck inside the Major League podium and pass the flags. Such an easy turn to get, but if you're going to be playing with the leading pack, that's where you need to be. Good experience for this young rider coming through for her on the 8 at the moment. The US rider finishing on a score of 12. Finished well in Miami a few weeks ago in the 2 stars there. Step up for her this week into the 5 stars for the first time. And Alexis finishing on a score of 12, 80.92. Connor Swale, Niall Nasser and Ashley Bond still are leading 3 in the pack at this point. Around 20 in total to go in this class. Alicia Gadban-Lewis of Canada, Beneficial. 10-year-old by Banderas, the Canadian rider. Let's see if they can shake Connor Swale from the top. Move up for her, has been competing in the 4 stars in Wellington this season. Another one that's appeared here before as part of the World Cup last year here in Langley. Placed there and also won a class here last season too during that World Cup show. In fact, 2 wins for her here at that World Cup show week, or 2-week tour as it was. Alicia getting more experience this year. Actually, last season also headed across to Europe, competing in the shows in the Netherlands and into Belgium and France. Still coming on the 0 score at the moment. Won't be quite catching that of Connor Swale, but this could be up into our top group. Could go into 3rd. And good round for them. In fact, going to go even higher than that. 74.37. We'll go into 2nd for Alicia Gadban-Lewis there and Beneficial. Beneficial round for them. Slotting into 2nd in our 5-star class so far. Connor Swale still keeping the lead though by quite some margin at this point. Shane Sweetenham, Hollywood for the Triple S group. 10-year-old Dutch-bred mare by Nabab Darev. Shane on the team for the Spy Coast Spice, the Spy Coast Farm. Of course, he's ridden horses for a number of seasons now. great string of horses around him again, with horses like this coming through now alongside the campaigners like Alejandro, who was competing yesterday. Shane starting at quite the pace. Shane not looking to let Connor have it all his own way. Jump off class later on today, 73,000 Canadian dollars on that. Just unfortunately having the front bar there in front. Horse's front feet, fence front. Still, time was looking pretty good for Sweetnam and Hollywood. So quite a few new horse names to note this year, which will be interesting. And 71.87, some new rising stars. Just finishing on the 4 this time for Shane, goes into 5th place at this stage. Connor Swale going to keep the lead. That would have dropped Shane into 2nd place, but unfortunately just that Major League fence coming down for them. Here we take another look back at it. And just, yeah, took off, but unfortunately just clipped in front. On 2 now, Mexico, and Manuel Gonzalez Dufresne. Martilis. 10-year-old Belgian, bred by Nabab Dorev from the breeding of Lord Zed for the Mexican.
Heading back underway now with entry number 997. This is Manuel Gonzalez and Marshall, number 997.
Another that's made the trip up to Canada from Mexico, finished well in the Mexico City shows, and the 2 stars a few weeks ago, was actually part of the team for Mexico at the Nations Cup there back in March. That was at the venue in Jalapa, of course. World Cup qualifier winner in Puebla. That was with Hortensia. Moves up to the Morningstar horses, Oxa. Good turn around the corner, keeping a running ride up at the moment. Just got to be a little bit careful of this vertical on the way out. Yeah, gets the measure of it. Also, just as they clear that, you've just again got to be thinking about how flat and running they can get to that Major League Oxford. Unfortunately, just a tickle drops off the pole there. His time was pretty good. Close, one of the closest we've seen to Connor Swale's time at this point. Finishing on the 4 at 69.50. 69.5 there for Manuel Gonzalez Dufresne of Mexico. On the 4 faults, we'll take him into 4th place at the moment. Fastest of the 4s, but keeping in his sights there, Connor Swale, with Nadal Hero and DB. He remains in front, Connor Swale. Alicia Gadban-Lewis of Canada in 2nd, Niall Nasser in 3rd. Shane Sweetnam 6th, Ashley Bond in 5th, Manuel Gonzalez Dufresne in 4th at the moment. They're the ones with the eyes on potentially the new Barry Jim glasses for them too, alongside the prize money, of course, for this class. Tana Gorotkin winner yesterday, and now looking to keep that up. President Van Kukshoff for the Presidential Partners, riding under the Sweetnam team banner as well, part of the Spy Coast Spies this season. Just getting through there well to get a turn in. I was getting a good tight line down to fence 4, but unfortunately takes it with them as they were upping the pace. Now just steadying off a little as they come to the Cabana Boat Coast Oxa. Just calming things down as they come to this second double. Nicely through there. And leaves them on the 8. So 74.83. 8 there for Tanaka and President this time, as they putting a win together yesterday to start them off. And we'll see more of them throughout the week for the team competition, of course. So going into 11th spot at this point. Just leaving us about 5 or 6 left to go. Nicky Gallagher up next. And Hermione Villerodez, the 9-year-old by Dayton Seat, the Belgian-bred ride for Nicky. Yeah, good to have him now part of the teams for the Trailblazers this year. Jarvis Miss Jordan, of course, his Grand Prix winning ride from again makes the weave inside for the Irishman. Just has to take a really strong woe down there, but gets the job done. Now to the last. This is not far away. It's not going to be as fast as Connor Swale. He's playing a different game to everyone else at the moment. 74.11 takes them into second for Nicky Gallagher and Hermione. So the 2 Irish riders, top 2 places. Canada after that with Alicia Gadban-Lewis, Nal Nasser and Manuel Gonzalez de Huyn making up our top 5. Manuel the fastest of the 4s at the moment. Ashley Bond returning. Caroline of Bullmore. New ride for her, as those that were following the sport will have seen earlier on this year. She then rode the horse on about their 2nd or 3rd occasion to win the Rolex Grand Prix in Wellington, Florida. So it's been a very nice partnership that came together through the Phillip Arts family. This is one very much to look out for in the Grand Prix on the circuit as well for Major League Jumping. She's giving herself plenty of room here, just getting this partnership out, I would think, on the turf. Probably go the longer route here. Yes, she is. Yeah, she's just going to quietly carry on. Just quietly getting themselves together. Getting the jump underneath them for this double. cope with the height without too much trouble at all, as they proved earlier on this year. Time-wise, a little like Kent Farrington, is going to be time faults to add here. So it's going to take her for time to 18 of those, 103.59. But yes, it's still leaving the fences up. Not too much to worry about there. We'll see more of them later on into the week. Nicholas Pizarro, Santa Rosa y Alta. Ana Sofia Legorreta Hernandez. And Nick on this 10-year-old Olympic rider for Mexico. Another one making several appearances as part of Major League Jumping last year, and especially on those Mexican legs. Big jumper out of the double, not attempting to get the inside line there. Just keeping moving on the outside line. Coming home on the clear so far for Nick Pizarro. Just pushes up to get the 5 down to the last, all right. And at 79.25, Santa Rosa y Alta. Here we see them at the first. And just using themselves over the Cabana Coast fence. So Nick Pizarro going into 5th place so far. Still Connor Swale leading. Nadal, Hero and DB. Nicky Gallagher second with Hermione, the Irish top 2 at the moment. Showing the way on the turf at the moment. And it is Alicia Gadban-Lewis in 3rd with Beneficial. Nick De La Joyo, Chess. The 11-year-old by Bufero Van Het Panishov. Good partnership now that's been going for a good 6 months plus. Nick with a good run in Wellington this year, notably with Cornets Cambridge as well. Several good horses around at the moment. This was Kent Farrington Rise, and just been moving this one up more and more now into the 5 stars. So it's up to get a nice pace to the Show Plus fence. And for them, just going to come in on the 4 fault. It's going to be a time of 75.35 for Nick De La Joyo to go top dozen into 12th place with Chess. John Perez, Voodoo 10. Well, we didn't see much of yesterday, and John, who already put wins together last year as part of Major League up in Canada at Angelstone, including there the Toronto stage of the Major League Jumping Tour. The Colombian rider with Voodoo 10, so working with the Rehan team. Great background in having produced a whole host of top-class young horses throughout his career as well. Voodoo keen to get down that line. Not so keen there, unfortunately, at the double. So there'll be a rebuild. Connor Swale, Nicky Gallagher, Alicia Gadban-Lewis, top three so far. 2 for Ireland, 1 for Canada. No trouble this time around. There we go, there's obviously going to be time on top there as well. Fourth jumping takes them to a score of 21, 102.18 for John Perez and Voodoo 10. Combination that we saw win in Mexico last year as well. Connor Swale, Count Me In, has been counted in on plenty of occasions now for this highly successful partnership. Swale with a chance of maybe a 1-2 here. A bit of breeze coming in now, drying conditions. As I say, it's been a soggy morning, but now improved. Wind, a little bit of sunshine, definitely helping. Connor, as we mentioned, world number 5 now. Sets the pace so far. Been rocking up the winds as well in Lexington over the last few weeks. Count Me In was the horse he rode at the World Cup finals in Leipzig back in April. First is Source's first international appearance since then. Going to be not on the same pace as he was with his opening ride, but this will probably be a horse that he'll be turning to for the Grand Prix later on this week. Of course, that'll be on Sunday afternoon here at Thunderbird. No trouble at all as they go just over the 80 seconds, 81.08, and with a clearing into 6th place for Connor Swale, Count Me In. He's already counted well into this class by being the leader with Nadal Hero and DB at the moment. Nicky Gallagher in 2nd, Alicia Gadban-Lewis in 3rd, Nal Nasser in 4th, and Nicholas Pizarro 5, and Connor Swale in 6th. They're both destined for new Maui Jim glasses as well, potentially, for this class too. Nice addition as the extras is on top of the prize money for this. Henry McNerney, and for the Logano team for the US rider, Captain Cooper. Bred warm blood by Namalasar, the rider from Wellington, Florida. Trains with Kent Farrington. This has been a big Grand Prix winning horse in its career, then moved over here to the US and has built a very quick, nice partnership with Hillary. This looks like it could be our last combination to go as well. Time-wise, it looks as though Connor Swale will be our winner. Again, I would think this would be her horse looking towards the Grand Prix as well later on this week. And there, Connor Swale will be on the 0 score. So it looks like he'll be walking away with the money just into the afternoon now. 20 past 12 local time. We're looking at 3:30 with our next class, with that jump-off class this afternoon. Just final fence, and leaves them on the 482.77 for Hilary McNerney and Captain Cooper to take them into 15th position. They're looking at 3:30 with this afternoon's jump-off class, with Connor Swale as our winner again. Keeps getting those ranking points together for the world number 5. Nadal, Hero and DB will be the leader by quite a margin, 65.58. Leaving the rest in his wake, Nicky Gallagher in second with Hermione, with the rider from Ireland finishing in second. It's a 1-2 for the Irish. Third for Canadian Alicia Gadban-Lewis and Beneficial. Fourth for Renan Nasser and Igor van der Wittemore on 77.53. Nicholas Pizarro 79.25, and Connor Swale again. 2 sets of sunnies for him from our sponsors Maui Jim. And Connor Swale counted into the top 6. And in fact, those are all the clears in this one-round class. Well done to them. After that, fastest of the 4s in 7th place, Manuel Gonzalez Dufresne and Martielis. And then in 8th place to Ashley Bonds, and Contafina LVF will be the top 8. Presentation coming up for this Maui Gym class. Thanks to them once again. The good news is it looks like some of the clouds are moving away. Maui Gyms will be required later on into the day here in Thunderbird. It's drying up. The rain has drifted away, and our team are getting set up for their later class. As I say, 3:30 is going to be that one, our jump-off class later on this afternoon, and part of a big week here. But presentation coming up. Our thanks to Maui Jim once again, our presenting sponsor here in the Fort Grand Prix Arena for this first 5-star class of the day. And we will be back later on this afternoon. So 12:30 right now, or coming up to 12:30. Not too far away from that, just over the 3 hours until we'll be back with our next. We'll see you then. It's another win, another number 1 for Connor Swale. Continued happy hunting grounds here at Thunderbirds. Nadal, Hero and DB.
second place, and congratulate Nikki Galligan and Hermione Delaware. Now we go to third, Alicia Lewis and Beneficial. Congratulations once again to our top three places, and now in honor of our champion Connor Swale, along with Medal Hero and TV, as we please rise if you are able to play of the Irish National Anthem. And a big congratulations once again to our champions Connor Swale and Medal Hero and TV. And now we invite Connor Swale and Medal Hero and TV to lead the way around the ring in today's Victory Ride. As they make their way past the timber frame, Connor Swale, Nikki Galligan, and Alicia Lewis. A big congratulations once again to our top three contenders. The remainder of the top six will also be receiving their gym sunglasses, including fourth place man Massar and Igor Vander Whitmore, in fifth Nicholas Pizzato with Santa Rosa Yanta, and completing the top six, that's Connor Swale once again, two pairs today, thanks to the efforts of Old LPN.